Well, we're not doing a lot, but we are doing exactly one thing. So why not? Commune with spirits. Alright, so Naya auras probably? Yes. Ooh, look at that. We even have something to do on turn 2. Yeah, the hand definitely has a plan, huh? What kind of removal does Naya auras play? Can they interact with Hinata at all? I don't know that they can. I'd love if my opponent tried to play some kind of random rune on the Kami so that I could bounce the Kami in response. They run the circle thing. The circle of banishment that hits like a 3-drop or less. Yay! Opponent played the rune. We get to bounce the thing in response. Victory! I'll take Teachings of the Archaics, why not? Okay, but that can't hit Hinata, so we should be totally fine. Probably. Hallowed Haunting. Okay, well, that doesn't really matter. Let's see. Would cost me 3 mana to play Magma Opus on their upkeep currently. So I probably want to hold up Jwari Disruption after that. I could also play Magma Opus and deal 4 damage to their face. I don't think 4 damage to their face matters here compared to holding up Jwari Disruption, though. They went for green, so let's just remove... Oh, no, hold on. Damage, damage, damage. Then remove all their green sources. Bunch of Unexpected Windfalls, not useful yet. Conveniently, we have Behold the Multiverse up on the off chance they don't give us something to Jwari Disruption. Unfortunately, I feel like this Teachings of the Archaic is actually going to be pretty useless here. Rune of Sustenance, not a card that really matters. Probably supposed to save the Jwari Disruption, I'm assuming. Divide by 0 sounds delightful. Smoldering Egg also sounds plenty delightful. I suppose I could Shatterskull Smashing the 1/1, but I'm assuming that developing the egg is better, especially because I have just piles of Unexpected Windfalls in hand anyway. I feel like it's going to be pretty hard for the opponent to survive me having Divide by 0 and Jwari Disruption up here. I feel like I'm in a decent spot. Yeah. That there's a Kami. Opponent plays a tap land. Nope, untaps the land. Perfect. Hallowed Haunting. Ooh. Alright, well, let's counter that. Not that I think that it matters. And then the opponent gets a Spirit. Good for them. We're gonna bounce the Kami. Put some counters on Egg. We'll go get a Mascot Exhibition. Oh, the opponent's done? I forgot that Divide by 0 was just, like, totally busted. I missed this. Let's see. What do we want to do? Oh no, was there some bug with the midweek magic thing? That sounds not great. Do we think Smoldering Egg is worthwhile against the Enchantments deck? I kind of feel like it might not be. Most of their creatures feel like they scale out of range of the Smoldering Egg. I'm kind of wondering if I want to just cut the Disdainful Stroke, and maybe cut the Smoldering Eggs for Thundering Rebukes. And then, like, probably play Epiphany? Probably play Epiphany. I'm thinking Smoldering Egg is probably actually not good. And then just play Behold the Multiverse instead. It kind of limits my win conditions, but I have a lot of removal. I guess I don't have super great answers to Hallowed Haunting at the moment, in terms of, like, answers to go wide board states. I mean, I do have Divide by Zero to bounce the Hallowed Haunting, but if they just turn 3 Hallowed Haunting, I might be in trouble. Smoldering Egg does sort of help with that a little bit. So I could play some Smoldering Eggs, I suppose. Let's trim Behold. Let's trim Thundering Rebuke and play 2 Egg, I guess. I don't know if that's actually the right thing to do, but I do feel like having a couple more win conditions so I'm not just reliant on drawing Magma Opus could be important. I'm gonna have to go get some socks. My feet are cold. Okay, well, hand has Hinata and Magma Opus, so plan obtained. Okay, well, this is interesting. I kind of feel like I'm going to take a risk and try to draw another land, which we did successfully. My risk was not playing Jwari Disruption on turn 1. Because things did get kind of awkward if we didn't successfully draw another untapped land to play the Hinata on 4 with. But I was worried that they were going to have, like, Cost Reducer on 2 into Hallowed Haunting on 3, and I wouldn't have had a great response to that if I didn't have Jwari Disruption up. Luckily, no problems here, everything's fine. We'll take Mascot Exhibition, I guess. Then we just play Hinata and see what our opponent does. If the opponent just jams Hallowed Haunting, we're probably okay with that. Showdown of the Scalds. I'm extremely okay with that. You know, Chris is truly confident in a deck when there's no questionable in the deck's name. I feel like at this point I've got the generic Hinata shell down enough that I do not question that that half of the deck can make up for a lot of other questionable choices. Okay. Well. Generous Visitor. 1/1/1/1. It's on green. Let's go with let's get rid of 2 green sources. Since we know the opponent can play a red source anyway, there's not a lot of benefit in removing the 1 red source. Do you really have a flash way to protect Generous Visitor, opponent? Oh, yes, you do. Interesting. What do I want to remove, then? I could Divide by 0 the Generous Visitor here. I sort of suspect that I would rather Divide by 0 the Showdown of the Scalds, though. So I think I'm going to let this resolve, just to see if I happen to draw anything else that's relevant. Jwari Disruption. Oh, that's actually delightful. Would I rather hold up Fateful Absence? No, I'd rather hold up Jwari Disruption. Alright. So we're going to bounce the Showdown of the Scalds, which mostly just serves to stop them from putting counters on the... I'll take Sciences. Generous Visitor particularly easily. Retrieve Socks. Alright. We'll attempt to remember to go do that. So now the opponent has 3 mana. They can cast a single rune that will get Jwari Disruptioned. And then we can Fateful Absence the Generous Visitor. Valorous Stance. Oh, that also gets Jwari Disruptioned. Okay. Well, Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, turns out this deck is extremely good if you have turn 4 Hinata into Magma Opus. Who knew? Whop. Alright. Oh, this I don't think is a hand we get to keep. This also isn't good. But, okay. So what's our plan here? I'm kind of assuming we just ship the Hinata and hope that somehow, some way, Smoldering Egg makes it. Interesting fact about socks, the footwear that I've recently found out. Albert Einstein hated socks, refused to wear them throughout most of his life, got absolutely upset when someone told him he had to wear them. Toddler level stuff. Alright. I respect a dedication to a way of life. It's actually not, like, horribly uncommon, though, in the sense of folks having strong sensory dislike of wearing stuff like socks or seat belts. Things in that nature. I think I want to play both Smoldering Eggs before I Unexpected Windfall, with the expectation that my opponent's Abzan deck is probably going to be playing removal of some sorts. I don't want to go all in on one egg just to have it be the first egg that gets answered. Opponent, you should play a 5-drop. No. May want to play Precipitous Drop. Okay. Well, one Smoldering Egg gone. Okay. Opponent has completed a dungeon. That's certainly pretty decent. Let's see. Unexpected Windfall. I think discarding the land at this point because I really need the cards. Hinata, not particularly functional, but Behold the Multiverse tempting enough that I think I'm supposed to make a land drop. Precipitous Drop is -5/-5, huh? Brutal. Okay, well, having drawn Hinata, I don't want to use these treasures, so we're not going to Fateful Absence now, even if it would prevent a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Ooh. Precipitous Drop is a removal spell. Really quite annoyingly effective here. Okay. Opponent's multicolored dedication going strong. I'm assuming I want to save Fateful Absence until my opponent's beginning of combat so they can't play another Nadar and have the Anthem effect on board at that point. Let's let the kitty out, because I can hear him yelling. Alright, before the opponent attacks, we attempt to kill the Nadar. I don't want to give them another force me to lose 2 life trigger if I can help it. I am playing Fateful Absence. That's kind of one of the things we're testing today. Seeing if that's viable-ish. I mean, I can probably get away with sacking a land at this point. I don't think I need more. Yeah. Giant Death Touch creature is going to be a problem. I will need a Magma Opus, and I will need that Magma Opus to do something particularly useful. Alright, there's a Magma Opus. And a Fateful Absence, which isn't actually helpful yet, unfortunately. So I can deal 3 damage to the Nadar and 1 damage to something else, which isn't really helpful. Okay. I don't think there's any way I can attack and then kill Nadar after they block with Cloister Gargoyle. I figured running 4 Fateful Absence would be the fastest way to figure out whether the mana base can support Fateful Absence as a removable spell. Whether it's correct or not, I don't know. Okay. I feel like I'm pretty happy they didn't just go back to the Tomb of Horror again. Like, that would have been the worst thing for me. Let's go with hit these 2. Tap down the Atropal. And probably the wolf token, I'm thinking. There is a chance that I could want to attack on the next turn. It's extremely unlikely, but... Okay, well. Considering they cracked the clue anyway here, there wasn't much point in tapping lands, which at least I correctly identified that. Okay, divide by 0 is not terrible, and we found a white source for the Fateful Absence. Our opponent has another Nadar. Luckily, we do have an answer to that. Okay. I suspect I want to divide by 0 the Varus. Because that puts 3 cards in their hand and then lets me play... Yeah. I don't want them recasting any of the other creatures and getting to venture into the dungeon here, I don't think. So I think I'm okay paying 1 more for this. And then I get to get Teachings. And then I get to play... No, okay. I thought it was highlighting the island like I hadn't made a land drop already, but I had. I thought I had. No. I would not like to be unable to cast Fateful Absence, thank you. And then we whiff on draws, which is going to be not good. How are the eggs doing? So far, they've all died before accomplishing anything meaningful. Which, I guess they protected the Hinata by removing the 2 precipitous drops that would have killed Hinata. That's sort of something. And also, hey, Cerusian, thanks for the resub. That's a good sign that I need to turn the volume up. There we go. Okay. There is Cloister Gargoyle. Trigger, 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 trigger. Oh, card draw, card draw, card draw. So much card draw. So much venturing. So much scrying. So many free cards. Oh, it's only the first each turn. Okay, so I didn't technically need to bounce Varus because they were going to have other stuff to play regardless. I shouldn't let them attack with Nadar here, because that actually gives them 3 cards to draw and a free spell. But I kind of wanted to bait them into these attacks, but yeah, that definitely didn't matter. Liesa, huh? Seems like that'll be a problem. Okay, Nadar gone, treasure for the opponent. Block Cloister Gargoyle. Block a 2/2. Puts Cloister Gargoyle back in their hand. I'm not sure that I, have outs at this point. I guess Unexpected Windfall could be useful-ish? Magma Opus, that's sort of something. So you're telling me there's almost a chance that I'm not dead this turn. I'll take it for the time being. Good news. Opponent's very close to out of Nadars. I am willing to discard a card in this spot. I'm not sure the opponent's considered that getting another Atropal right now isn't particularly helpful for them. It is legendary, is it not? It is. Okay, well that doesn't accomplish much. Do get a wolf token, I suppose. Alright, let's see. I want to deal 1 damage to a skeleton, 1 damage to a skeleton, and 2 damage to a wolf, and then I want to tap down Liesa and a flyer. Wait, what? Oh, no, cancel. 1 damage, 2 damage, submit. Tap down Liesa, tap down flyer. Yes, that is the way to do it. Put some counters on the eggs, draw some cards. Divide by 0, Disdainful Stroke. Okay. In truly bizarre fashion, is there a chance that I could win this game? Blockety, blockety, blockety. Okay. Wandering Emperor. That gives first strike to the Cloister Gargoyle is the idea. But I can Disdainful Stroke that. Put a counter on Egg. Divide by 0 the Cloister Gargoyle. Animate Hall, swing for 4+7. That's not quite enough, huh? Okay, well, we let this happen for now. Because I can divide here, but that doesn't transform the Smoldering Egg to free it up to attack. So I don't think I'm supposed to try to go for lethal. I was probably supposed to divide the Liesa before the instep if the target's Liesa, but I do wonder if I'm supposed to go for the Cloister Gargoyle and try to go for lethal in some way. Yeah, alright. I think putting these cards back in their hand was a mistake. Oh, I don't get to draw a card with the Liesa. Right. Okay, so it was definitely correct to do Cloister Gargoyle. Okay. Alright, well, let's swing with the 4/4. Galvanic Iteration is interesting because it does let us jump the Smoldering Egg into the air. This is a surprisingly tense game, to be entirely honest. I'm assuming the opponent, yeah, gets to do Tomb of Annihilation here, putting me to 3, and then playing Varus and something else. Making me sack a land is annoying because it stops Hall. Yeah, actually letting them redraw cards with Eliasa turned out to be a problem. Definitely didn't play that super great. Okay, so they make us discard a card. I could cast the Galvanic Iteration in response here, and then I lose 2 life, go to 1. Does that make a difference? Sort of. Transforming the egg now means I'm sitting on the ability for Smoldering Egg to deal 2 damage to the wolf, which plays around a potential removal spell. No, I'm dead to a removal spell regardless of whether I'm at 3 or not, because a removal spell stops me from dealing with Cloister Gargoyle. Huh. Oh, I guess I could choose not to sacrifice a land? The trouble with choosing not to sacrifice a land is the going to 1 does make me dead to the next Tomb of Annihilation pinging for 1 at the beginning, though. Oh, well, I could also just lose if they happen to have randomly Brutal Cathar because I chose not to play the Galvanic Iteration. I guess that works. Not what I expected I was going to play around out of the Adventures deck, or literally just Venture deck, but here we are. Okay. Well, I feel rather incredibly favored against this. I'm just going to hope they don't have every Nadar in the top of their deck this time. Precipitous Drop, though, is actually kind of annoyingly good against Smoldering Egg, so I sort of feel like I don't bother playing those. A-Alrund's Epiphany, Behold the Multiverses, removal spells, just go heavier on card draw. Don't bother with Disdainful Stroke. And just try to outvalue them, which should be pretty doable. Alright, that seems like the plan. Ooh, light on lands, heavy on answers. I feel like if I'm not willing to make this gamble, I'm not willing to play this deck. And I am extremely willing to play this deck. What you got for me, opponent? Thalia? Okay. I, too, have a Thalia opponent. And my Thalia reduces things by more than 1 mana. If I've got to pay like 4 or 5 mana for Magma Opus, it's not the end of the world. Alright, opponent, do you have a removal spell for my Hinata? I'd be annoyed. But if you don't have a removal spell for Hinata, Thalia and Redain extremely embarrassed by 1 flying spirit. Okay. This is annoying. Very well, opponent. You actually do get to attack through my 4/4. I believe your bluffs about having Precipitous Drop. Okay, so how much does this Magma Opus cost? 5 if I target 4 things for damage. Pop. Yeah. So I'm just going to casually cast 5 mana Magma Opus through my opponent's Thalia and Raidane. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Tried making a standard deck I don't have the cards for since Midweek Magic is broken for historic deck. Turns out you can't even use any of the cards you don't already have as the event is supposed to work, so it's just regular standard. Oh no. That is kind of hilarious though. Alright, let's go ahead and blow up that Raidane. And we're going to go ahead to combat and swing with these two. And we're going to foretell this here A-Alrund's Epiphany. And we're kind of just out-Thaliaing the opponent at the moment. Oh, it is absolutely delightful how much this deck doesn't care about Thalia. I just totally love it. Now that said, if they're boarding in Thalia and Raidane, that does actually make Smoldering Egg quite a bit more appealing. The trouble is that I just don't actually know. I mean, I'm probably not supposed to play A-Alrund's Epiphany if my opponent's jamming Thalia and Raidane, which means I'm almost certainly supposed to go back to Smoldering Eggs. I don't know what else I'm supposed to cut, though. I mean, I guess Unexpected Windfalls and Behold the Multiverses aren't very good against Thalia and Raidane, so trimming those is kind of acceptable. Oh, well, that's a Hinata. Seems good. I really can't state enough how amazing it is that I don't have to spend extra mana on Hinata if my opponent plays a Thalia. No 2-drop, huh, opponent? I mean, I could just jam Smoldering Egg here. Feel like I probably want to hold up Jwari Disruption against Nadar, though. If I'm being entirely honest. Seems like the card that I've had the most problems with. Nothing, huh? I mean, once again, I could jam Smoldering Egg, but it kind of feels like that's probably just running into something. I don't know what, but definitely probably something. Alright, now I'm willing to play Smoldering Egg, because my opponent's giving me the impression that they have instant speed removal spells. Nope, just the Emperor. Okay, well, we'll Jwari Disruption that. Why not? What about cards like Goldspan Dragon? Does it let you use the Alchemy version of Goldspan Dragon, or the standard version of Goldspan Dragon? Sclapiration. Well, let's just go ahead and Thundering Rebuke that Sclapiration and put stuff on the board for our opponent to deal with. I'm assuming their deck is probably not currently happy about the fact that it has no green mana? More Sclapirations. Okay, well. I mean, I guess I can just keep attacking my opponent. Oh no, precipitous drop on my 2/2. That's decent. Unexpected Windfall is awkward when none of my cards are technically bad. I don't really want a Fateful Absence that Skyclave Apparition. I don't really want to spend 4 mana to kill it, though. But playing the Unexpected Windfall isn't accomplishing much either. I guess that's probably what I'm supposed to do, though, is just make a 4/4. Hope they don't have Brutal Cathar. I wonder if I was supposed to wait until I could hold up Fateful Absence on a Brutal Cathar. Yeah, I had Brutal Cathar. I find myself in an awkward position. Well, that's Windfall discarding Spikefield Hazard. Okay, Galvanic Windfall actually gives us quite a bit of action, thankfully. Nadar. Don't love it. Do I end up Fateful Absencing that here for mana efficiency's sake? I definitely want to Fateful Absence it before they get to attack with it. Which means... Alright. Well, now that they've spent the mana, I'm definitely Fateful Absencing it, but I might as well force them to choose with their Eliwick down tick. Or uptick, I guess, before they know the Nadar is gone. Oh, I see. They're completing the dungeon so that they would get the Anthem. Sure. Well, and the Cloister Gargoyle attacking more. These two. Alright, Galvanic, Windfall, draw some cards. Okay, land's not helpful. Galvanic Iteration Magma Opus, however, actually is helpful. That will be a delightful thing to do next turn. We're going to be able to cast 3 Magma Opuses, so hopefully our opponent doesn't find too many cards that tax us horribly. I mean, I think through like most tax effects we can still cast 2 Magma Opuses. Alright, Nadar's annoying. It's a dungeon deck that's actually seeming to be relatively effective, which I'm impressed by. I will decline. I think I can afford to lose some life here. And I think I want this land for making the land drop. How necessary that is, I'm not entirely certain, but we'll find out. Okay, Knight, so I can't actually stop the Moonrage Brute or target it, which is kind of annoying, but that's probably overall worthwhile. Alright, 1 Galvanic, 2 Galvanic. And then I think we go with 1, 1, 1, 1. Tappity, tappity. With 3 copies, I'm going to be able to deal 1 damage to all of these with every single Magma Opus, and that should kill all of them. Provided they don't have an instant speed way to save their Nadar. If they do, I'm in trouble. But I think we ought to be fine here. Yeah, this looks pretty much fine to me. You really gotta love how much this deck's game state just absolutely instantly changes on a dime. Alright, Moonrage Brute transforms back. We will remove it with a Fateful Absence in response. I'm not sure what they could do to get out of this. Tomb of Annihilation, we can definitely afford to sacrifice a treasure token at this point. We have Divide by Zero up. We have Fateful Absence up as well. So they need to do 4 burn damage through 2 blockers and 2 removal spells. Is this a clue or a treasure? It's a clue. So they've only got 7 mana to work with. Opponent draws a card. Alright. Admittedly, that felt very close, but opponent had surprisingly good aggro starts in most of those games. It does continue to feel like Nadar is what the adventure decks hinge on quite a bit, but the fact that Nadar is inherently a pretty strong card, the fact that the buffs have gotten the rest of the shell up to the point where it's not embarrassing to support Nadar is actually kind of cool. That says decent things about the buffs they've chosen to make. GG, Sandstorm. That was an impressive deck. I was not expecting the adventure package to be that effective, but it looked like it was doing pretty well. Ooh. Oh, why am I getting paired against someone in bronze? Hey, DC. Thanks for the raid. How'd the stream go? Is there Second Sunrise in Alchemy? There's the new 8-mana version of Second Sunrise. Does that count? Alright, we'll keep this hand. Why not? What could possibly go wrong with keeping a hand that has 2 8-mana spells? Okay. Well. I assume I'm supposed to play this Smoldering Egg and then just try to Jwari Disruption for the rest of the game. Yeah, I do mean a more literal egg, unfortunately. I am willing to make this block, because any of your fight spells that are good here would have killed my egg anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Inscription of Abundance was gonna do that regardless. Ooh, divide by 0, that's pretty good. I'm gonna really hope they don't have Snakeskin Veil here. If they're gonna Snakeskin Veil me, at least I should make them spend the mana on their turn. That really looked like a Snakeskin Veil pause, so I'm hoping that's not what it is. Yeah, okay, well. It was a nice game while it lasted. I should have made them attack with the Werewolf Pack Leader first, and then divide by 0 after the attack. That was slightly better. It got to the exact same spot, but denied them the ability to draw a card. And that said, we should be dead now. I mean, I could draw another divide by 0 for the Pack Leader, I suppose, but I don't think I can beat the Hunt Master from behind like this. I could draw divide by 0 into Hinata. Play Jwari Disruption, divide by 0 Werewolf Pack Leader. Next turn, play a land. Okay, maybe divide by 0 buys us enough time for Hinata to come down and then we chain Magma Opuses. It's not completely unwinnable. It's just real hard. And we kind of have to have divide by 0 this turn. Okay, well, new plan. Opponent chooses not to activate Werewolf Pack Leader for lethal, or play a creature for lethal. Opponent has played a creature for lethal around Jwari Disruption. So the plan of cycling Magma Opus into top-decking Hinata to stay barely alive does not work. We about to lose 600 rank. Nah, it doesn't really work like that. Plus, luckily, we should still have a pretty good matchup against Mono Green regardless. So, hopefully we just win the next 2 and make this a little easier on ourselves. Still not entirely certain whether I want A-Alrund's Epiphany or Smoldering Eggs in against Mono Green. That has historically been a tough call. I think we'll ship it like this. Plus, we actually got matched up against this opponent after, like, not very long. in the queue. So I assume that means for whatever reason they actually have a relatively high MMR. Because it usually takes until like 60 seconds of searching before it starts making really loose matchups. If the point is to test out Egg, then you want Egg. Well, testing out Egg as a main deck card is not necessarily the same thing as testing out Egg as a sideboard card. Because if I don't sideboard out Egg in matchups where Egg is wrong, then yeah, it's going to look bad. That's not necessarily the most valuable testing data. This hand, I think, is fine. I think I lead on Hall and then play Plains so we can have Fateful Absence up on turn 2 on the off chance I want to do that. What matchups do you side Egg out in? I don't know yet. Tenacious Pup, sure. Oh, top decking Hinata. You'll love to see it. Gosh, I love that card. 2 Lair of the Hydras to make my life more annoying. Werewolf Pack Leader. We get to Fateful Absence that. Happy to see it. Okay, so Divide by 0 is probably going to have to grab an Environmental Sciences here. Would love to put Old Growth Troll back in my opponent's hand. Alternatively, I could get Teachings of the Archaic. No, not really acceptable. I could loot Galvanic Iteration. I could loot Unexpected Windfall away. No, I would probably actually just prefer to... Oh, no. It actually is safe to play Hinata here. Because we've removed all their creatures from their board, and because Hinata makes a fight spell cost 2, they can't go land Old Growth Troll, fight Hinata. And it's pretty hard for them to go land double fight spell. Oh, they can't because they don't have enough snow permanents to go double fight spell Tenacious Pup on Hinata. Because the Tenacious Pup won't be indestructible. Yeah, there's the Old Growth Troll. Okay. Alright. I think that means... Oh, I can't Galvanic Magma Opus. Because that takes 2 blue and 2 red, and my Plains does not accomplish that. I see. So I can Magma Opus right now to deal 3 damage to something, which doesn't accomplish much. I can Environmental Sciences and Egg, but I think there's too much risk that my Hinata dies. I think I'm just supposed to Environmental Sciences and Magma Opus and kind of just cut my losses. Come on. Alright, so on the upkeep... Do I end up pinging the Hinata here? I think that's probably fine. Let me get rid of the Lair of the Hydras. Oh wait, cancel. I don't have to hit the Hinata here because I actually want to deal 2 damage. Giving them the out to use the treasure with the Lair of the Hydras isn't a great feeling to playing Fateful Absence, but I suppose it's sort of an acceptable cost. Okay, Divide by 0 helps answer Old Growth Troll. Are they going to use a fight spell on Hinata here? Agent Coil, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Ooh, also, since apparently I've missed some. How's that even... Okay, rides one Klepto. An N.W. Robinson, 94. And Tuma. Thank y'all for the follows, too. Glad you're also enjoying things. Oh, wait, no. The fight spells cost 3, not 2, because they target 2 things. They have to target their creature and my creature. Oh, wow, that's even better than I thought. Radical. I keep finding new ways in which Hinata is better than I thought it was. I love it. Yeah, I'll take damage, opponent. I'm willing to race you. I think I'm a better aggro deck than you. I feel like they're trying to cast a fight spell and they're reading Hinata and figuring out what's going on. Ranger class, 2/2. Okay. Alright, well, play my land drop. Play my Smoldering Egg. Divide by 0 gets rid of the old growth troll. Smoldering Egg gets a little bigger. Unfortunately, I can't choose to pay more mana for the Smoldering Egg. You know, it'd be convenient if I could. I should double check. Are any of the lessons, like, actively better with Hinata? To the extent that they could potentially be worth including? Like, how many of the lessons actually target? Academic Probation, Confront the Past, Containment Breach, Expanded Anatomy, Introduction to Annihilation, Mercurial Transformation, Necrotic Fumes, Reduced to Memory, Start from Scratch. So none of the ones that are in our colors that are particularly good. I could technically play Reduced to Memory, but that's double white, which sounds kind of impossible. Yeah, disappointing. I mean, Expanded Anatomy isn't actually terrible, but would be better if I was playing Goldspan Dragon. Alright, ship it back. Ooh. Hey, so you're into card games. Just out of curiosity, have you heard/played Infinity Wars the TCG? I don't think I've heard of that. I'm assuming it's not related to the Marvel, probably. Animated trading card game. PvE campaign. Ooh, fun. But no, I can't say I've ever seen this or played this before. Have I drafted any Neo? No. I wasn't really planning to do any draft content, but I was earlier today introduced to the fact that Befriend the Moths is apparently a card you're allowed to play. And, like, I might end up playing the Arena Open with literally no practice, just because that sounds cute and fun. Gotta say, not a huge fan of the Werewolf Pack Leader on the other side of the table. Befriend the Moths is not great and decent. Alright. Well, maybe we'll just have to befriend the Moths in moderation. Do you have business email or contact point I can reach on for a potential sponsorship? Sponsorships, huh? So I do have a Twitter account that you can send the information to that I'll take a look at. I don't tend to stream a ton of non-Magic games, mostly because I tend to try to do a lot of practice whenever there's an upcoming major tournament, which is the case next month for Magic. But I'll definitely take a look at the details, at the very least. Should I divide by 0 this pack leader now? I'm assuming I should probably divide by 0 their next creature rather than the pack leader on the stack. Because one werewolf pack leader on the board isn't the end of the world. Yeah, definitely want to just hit that Huntmaster on the stack. Doesn't seem likely Teachings of the Archaic will be useful. It also doesn't seem likely that Environmental Sciences will be useful. Unfortunately, I have just a huge number of Galvanic Iterations in my hand right now that are not going to do much. I think I'm just supposed to take Mascot Exhibition. Oh, Mascot Exhibition has a lot more potential if my opponent's missing land drops. That's helpful. Okay, so we're going to Thundering Rebuke the pack leader. We're going to Foretell Behold the Multiverse and set up for Galvanic Behold the Multiverse and hope that the opponent missing land drops makes them slow enough to not kill us before value can turn the game around. Okay, Huntmaster's a good sign for us. They get rid of the 4-drop. Presumably they go and... Well, getting rid of the 4-drop would be an odd choice if they're going to actually go get a land from their sideboard. Oh, they top decked a land. But still, why get rid of the 4-drop? I'm not entirely certain I understand that one. Okay. There's no reason to Galvanic Behold its sorcery speed. I might as well keep the opponent trying to play around Jwari Disruption. Did they get rid of a Ulvenwald Oddity to grab a Toski? But opponent, I don't care about Toski. I mean, them drawing cards, I guess, is sort of good. But I would be a lot more scared if they had played a 4/4, to be entirely honest. Okay. Well, we're going to look at the top 8 cards of our deck, presumably. Well, not exactly, but we're going to try to find Magma Opus and Hinata. That is the goal here. Neither of these cards... Well... I guess I could keep Windfall to Galvanic Windfall next turn. If they don't kill me... And they can only do 9 currently. But if they don't kill me, that works. Okay, I think I'm willing to take that gamble. So I can Thundering Rebuke the Grizzled Huntmaster with Jwari Disruption to answer the Snakeskin Veil. I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's fast enough for me to win. Or I could not have any of my choices matter, and we end up in the same position anyway. Okay, Hinata's actually pretty excellent, though, in this particular exact spot. Because we get to play Hinata. They could Snakeskin Veil in response. They choose not to. Now that they've chosen not to, they can no longer Snakeskin Veil. So I get to 1-mana Thundering Rebuke the Grizzled Huntmaster. And then we just have Hinata to block the Toski. We also happen to have Jwari Disruption. Life could still be bad if the opponent plays a 4/4 haster. We have Shatterskull Smashing to sort of answer that. Because Anu Mammoth, not a 4/4 haster. I can live with that. Hinata blocks Toski. Because Hinata stats are still excellent for some reason. Nobody knows why. But they are really good. Oh, please play the fight spell for 3 mana. Please play the fight spell for 3 mana. Oh, I love it. Oh, delightful. Oh, yes. That's everything I want to be here for. Alright, well, We can definitely do a lot of stuff here. Smoldering Egg's tempting. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm supposed to Galvanic Windfall, discarding Shatterskull Smashing. Draw a bunch of cards, play the egg with 2 mana up. Oh, which happens to be enough mana to divide by 0. Okay. We're here for an eggy time, it would seem. Are we facing a player in bronze? Presumably they have a really high MMR. How that system works, I don't really know, but they're definitely playing and completely tier deck, and they're playing it well. So, not like unreasonable that we are here. Okay, so if I divide by 0 the Kazandu Mammoth, we're sort of in trouble if they have a Snakeskin Veil. I could just divide by 0 the Blizzard Brawl, which makes them cast it again, which isn't great. Could divide by 0 my Hinata. I kind of feel like I have to hit the Kazandu Mammoth and just hope they don't have the Snakeskin Veil. I don't see a way for me to play around Snakeskin Veil meaningfully here, so I think I just have to play through it. Or, well, play with the hopes that they don't have it. And luckily for me, that did work. Let's go ahead and block this. Why play a format that still has Alrunds? I mean, it's not like anybody is playing Alrund's Epiphany, though. Okay, well, since we top-decked the land, I think I'm just going to set up for a pretty good mascot exhibition next turn, is the plan here. This is not the typical way that mascot exhibition wins games, but here we are. I am going to block this Kazandu Mammoth if they attack. No! Okay, well, now there is no threat of my opponent giving the Kazandu Mammoth double strike and killing me. So now we're just going to go for lethal. No, opponent, come back! I really wanted to clip that. That was going to make for a good video. No! 16 damage, mascot exhibition by flipping 4 Smoldering Eggs at once. It was going to be good. Oh. It certainly was a very dramatic end to a match against a bronze player, but again, they actually played super well and didn't really make mistakes, and were playing a completely meta deck. So I don't know why the matchmaker decided that that particular bronze player deserved to play somebody in Mythic, but it did correctly identify that that actually was a good match. This is not a stellar endorsement of Smoldering Egg in the deck, but I don't want a mulligan, so other way around, it matches on rank before MMR. Maybe? That could be true. I think I'm inclined to hold on to the Jwari Disruption, since I have Smoldering Eggs. Gives me something to help transform them. Is everybody turning to mono green to try to fight green red? Is that what's happening here? Yeah, MMR stands for matchmaking rating. It's just a don't fight my egg, don't fight my egg, don't fight my egg. Okay, thank you. It's just a general system that is meant to... It's any system that attempts to try to create some sort of rating system by which to pair players so that you get equal matches. Their username is from my old MTGO clan. We made all the names of the 1992 Dream Team. 1992 Dream Team. What does that mean? Also, I know I've definitely seen this player around quite a bit. The name is very familiar to me. All right, I think I don't bother playing Smoldering Egg and Fateful Absence here. I think I just play Hinata to make Mono Green's life annoying. We're assuming they didn't have the fight spell because they probably would have used it to fight the Smoldering Egg last turn. Dream Team in basketball. Okay. Snakeskin Veil. The pump on the werewolf pack leader. Hinata saving the day again. One prevented blowout at a time. Okay, lack of red sources, though, I'm going to be honest, that's going to be a little awkward. I kind of have to hold Hinata back here so they don't get to attack with Ranger class and put a counter on the wolf for free. My Smoldering Eggs don't prevent that. Well, okay, that's fair. I mean, at least if they're doing it with Faceless Haven, they're still obligated to spend a bunch of mana doing so, which could be worse. Untapped red source, please. Untapped red source, please. Nope, just a Disdainful Stroke. That's like literally the worst possible card. Bankbuster is an interesting addition to Mono Green. That is theoretically a card that Mono Green's interested in. I'm not a fan of Bankbuster in most lists, because most lists don't get value out of both halves of Bankbuster. But Mono Green actually can use the creature and can use the card draw engine later on. So that's, like, not horrible. I think I'm going to wait to block this until it's bigger. Jugan defends the temple? Okay, well. So you're telling me I can divide by 0 something. Should that be Jugan defends the temple? 2+1/+1 counters would be kind of annoying. Does that make a mana dork? Wow, okay. That card's oddly not good in the context of Standard, but it's definitely annoying here. Okay, so that goes back into their hand. I get to get Environmental Sciences. I get to go get a red source. We put a bunch of counters on Smoldering Eggs. I think I have to get a red source here to play Unexpected Windfall next turn, even if it is really tempting to grab a blue source and hold up Disdainful Stroke for, like, a random 4-drop. Wait, could they have pre-combated that to... No, they needed to use the Faceless Haven to cast it. They were close to being able to pre-combat it in order to crew the Bankbuster, though. So unfortunately, we do have to throw away a Smoldering Egg here. Which makes life harder. Quite a lot harder. Would love to find a Magma Opus. Thank you, deck. Okay. Windfall, discarding Disdainful Stroke, Transform. Galvanic Iteration, but a little too slow, huh? I think we actually hold on to the Spikefield Hazard, because pinging down more stuff does sound appealing. If I Magma Opus in their upkeep, then they're going to crew the Bankbuster and put counters on it in response. Would I rather Magma Opus after they target with the Saga from Jugan Defends the Temple? probably... I don't think tapping down their mana is the correct move here. In fact, I think I'd like to play Magma Opus after they crew. Oh, I can't really wait, though, can I? Well, I mean, I sort of can. No. Not really. Okay, so 1/1/1/1. Tap the Faceless Haven, tap the Bankbuster. And then use the Ashmouth Dragon to deal 2 to the Wolf token. So they can crew the Bankbuster or animate the Faceless Haven in response, and then Snakeskin Veil it would be pretty annoying. I would really prefer not to use the Spikefield Hazard if possible. Because I kind of need something to discard to Windfall. And if I use the Treasure and cast the Spikefield, then there's nothing I can top deck that puts me in a position to Galvanic Windfall. Oh, right, I'm going to draw 2 cards. I forgot about that part. Also, I'm making a 4/4. Wow. I keep forgetting Magma Opus keeps doing more things other than the things you target. Gosh, that card's good. Okay. That's a good start. Could I kill my opponent here? They're at 20. Well, Unexpected Windfall's interesting. Alright, let's see how close we can get. Ping Tenacious Pup. Then Unexpected Windfall. Ping the opponent. Make 5 mana. Then I can put them to 16 with Windfall. Then I can... I think this is lethal? Right? Yeah. Do 12 Shatterskull for 0, Spikefield for 1? Am I allowed to cast Shatterskull for 0? I believe so. Turns out that yes. Yes, this is lethal. Woo! Alright, I was very nervous I was going to be missing something there. Galvanic Spike was lethal too. Was it? That's 6 damage, and what I did was... I guess oh, right, because 2 Galvanics equals 2 damage. So I did 7 damage, and that was 6, which worked, yeah. Ooh, alright, what did we do last time against Mono Green? We definitely cut Disdainful Stroke. We definitely brought in Thundering Rebukes. And then I think I cut like 1 Behold the Multiverse? Or did I cut 1 Windfall? I forget. We're gonna operate under this assumption. I'd be a lot happier with this hand on the play. On the draw, it seems pretty bad to not have 2-mana interaction, but... well... nothing to do but draw 2-mana interaction. No! Werewolf Pack Leader! Alright, Thundering Rebuke, Thundering Rebuke, Thundering Rebuke. No! This is an extremely unfortunate series of events. Well, they can't hit us with a troll. Oh, Kadama, that's spicy. Get to ramp with the Tenacious Pup. I don't know if it's good, but it's cute. Alright, let's get rid of that pack leader while we can. Guess we'll get Mascot Exhibition, because everything else is bad on the draw. Oh no, Tenacious Pup. Oh no, Werewolf Pack Leader. I never would have seen this coming. There's that Jwari Disruption much too late. Okay, let's see if we can bluff the opponent out of killing us somehow. We seem to have failed at that plan. Alright, I would like to attempt to divide by 0 Werewolf Pack Leader and hope you don't have Snakeskin Veil. Golly, that didn't work. Okay, well. Yeah, turns out incredibly not easy to win this game on the draw. I'm totally shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Now, Tail I can understand using as the example of a card or a character that doesn't necessarily have a huge amount of adoring fans, but you absolutely are underestimating the amount of love that Angrath has in specific circles who just like Angry Minotaur Daddy. That is a character archetype with rabid fans. Dad who just wants to go home and hang out with his daughters. That's a good character. Oh, I didn't mean as, like, in terms of it being a card. I meant, like, the stories from Ixalan that Angrath was a part of were kind of delightful. That is just a very fun character. Yeah, so we get to play Smoldering Egg on 2, Hinata on 4, hope they don't have removal, and then play Magma Opus. It's a plan. The father some people wish they had. Oh no. I'm not sure we're supposed to wish for the father who's been gone for multiple years, because they just left for work and got trapped on another plane of existence in essentially for a very long period of time. Swarm Shambler. Oh wow, the opponent really is all in on the modify stuff that we did not see, huh? But yeah, it definitely looks like one Smoldering Egg is accomplishing quite a lot here. Father that's actually trying to come back. Yeah, that is nice. That is nice. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to sequence this. But at least my Smoldering Egg is preventing damage. Oh, that's adorable! Wow, Tenacious Pup Swarm Shambler actually has some really cool synergy. Giving Swarm Shambler Vigilance is a big deal. Luckily for us, the opponent's missing land drops, which makes it kind of hard for them to fight Hinata. Especially if they use their fight spell now. Opponent. Little did they know. They needed those fight spells. They might have more, in which case it's not really a problem at all for them to have used it. Please don't top deck a land this turn. These one drops seem awful? No, these are actually pretty cool. Giving Swarm Shambler Vigilance has a lot of synergy, and they've demonstrated they have Kadama of the Reach, or West something. Which means that they also have payoffs for having modified creatures like this. Is this one ever any? Wow, okay. So if I Magma Opus their entire board right now, they just straight up get 6 1/1s, huh? That seems kind of good. How am I gonna handle that? Do I just ignore the Swarm Shamblers? I mean, I could just start trying to transform Smoldering Egg, I guess. Huh. Alright. Let's go with ping, 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 tap, tap. Tap their mana down on their upkeep. Lowering my creature's toughness to 3 doesn't really matter here. I know I want to avoid giving them any 1/1s. They tap a Swarm Shambler. Do they tap the other Swarm Shambler? No, they're playing around the possibility of drawing a land so they can swing with Swarm Shambler as a 5/5 through my 4/4. But they can't swing with it unless it's a 5/5, which means they can't swing with it. Okay. So I actually want to spend 5 mana on this Magma Opus. These don't have reach, correct? Yes. So I can actually start trying to clock my opponent here. I'm okay trading this 4/4 with anything on their board. You're going to deal all the damage to the Tenacious Pup and tap down the 2 forests. This actually lets me transform the Smoldering Egg in addition to making a 4/4. Like, it would be preferable to deal more damage to the opponent's face, but I think transforming the Smoldering Egg is a bigger deal. No, I should technically still have an upkeep stop set in case I draw anything relevant off this Magma Opus. I draw Fateful Absence, but I don't think I want to use that here. Holding up Jwari Disruption is probably just as useful. And at this point, I think we've successfully outscaled mono green. But yeah, there were definitely a lot of scenarios where these Swarm Shamblers would have been way more annoying. If I was actually having to tap down creatures or needed to use removal spells on those instead of just ignoring them, I would have been in a rough spot. Making a bunch of 1/1s is real awkward. But mostly, seems like Hinata was pretty good. It's a phrase I'm getting used to saying.